We're doing the phone thing. I gotta get guitar picks because I already know people are gonna ask me to play guitar. Yay! All right, yes. Oh, so I have to keep my device upright. Okay. Sounds good. Now we wait. Okay. Let's see if this works. Because sometimes the phone stream does not want to work properly. All right. Yo, yo, yo. Waiting for people to join this live stream and then we will get started. Probably be helpful if you could actually see what I'm playing, huh? Probably should plug into an amp. That's okay. It's always a waiting game with the YouTube live stream because for some reason, YouTube does not push out my live streams until like 5 minutes after it's been live. So please, if you are in the stream, go ahead and like the stream. That would be cool. Actually, I need to open up the comment section, I just realized, on my computer. So let's see here. See what's cracking with the YouTube folks. Go to... Hey, what are you doing? My cat's going crazy. Maybe now is not the time. We'll see. Okay, here we go. In the live, in the comment section. I guess I'm gonna play guitar as we wait. We'll plug in and give everyone what they would like to see. Cool. All right, yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the 4,000 subscriber live stream. Thank you so much for the 4,000 subs. And today I will be doing the Q&A like I do every 1,000 subscribers. What is up, Enzo IQ? My day is well. Zay, what's going on? Good to see everyone here. We're doing the 4,000 subscriber question answer. Can I please get mod so I can watch over your stream and make sure there's no... What do you mean by mod, bro? What's my sub count? It is 4,000 subscribers. That is why we're doing this. I only live stream, at least right now, every 1,000 subscribers. So now we're at 4,000. Very happy about that. And today I'll be doing a question answer. Can I get the mod so I can watch over your stream? Nah, bro, I got my own stream. I got my own stream, bro. I don't need a moderator, so it's all good. But I appreciate that. Fellow Yngwie lover here. What's up? Oh yeah, bro. You know what's up. Gotta love the Yngwie Malmstein. I'm not prepared to play any Yngwie right now because I literally just sat down and this is the first time I'm playing guitar all day. I just got done with a hike up a huge mountain earlier, literally like a 10,000 foot mountain. And then I told everyone I was gonna live stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. And then I didn't get off this mountain until about 5 and I had to get home. So I was like, well, sorry for everybody that was expecting it at, 8 Eastern Standard. I think now it's probably more like 10 Eastern Standard, but that's okay. Okay, let's see here. Just subbed. Oh, thanks. Okay. I guess this stream goes out to non-subscribers sometimes, so I don't know. I don't know how it all works with the live stream stuff. Zay, what does he say? Or she. He or she. I don't know. That could be like either one. I mean, like, if you click on my name, there should be like a mod so I can make sure if anyone spams in your chat, I can kick them instead of them getting banned. Oh, well, if that happens, I will do that. How about that? I just got notified. Okay, that's good. Jason Daniel Stone. All right, good to see you here. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the 4,000 subscribers. I actually just set up this guitar different for those that have been wondering about this guitar maybe. This one I haven't used in videos as much recently, but I did just put a new bridge on it, and I put new tuners on it. It already is insanely modded out on top of that, but that's like the new thing I just did to it. I probably should have just bought a USA Strat, huh? For as much money as I put into this Squire, there's got to be like almost $1,500 into this guitar now. Maybe actually right about there. So yeah, I probably could have just bought a USA Fender. How about that? But it wouldn't have been all black and super cool and modded, you know, and with the scalloped fretboard if I would have just bought a Fender. So I guess I technically still did kind of a deal on this thing by modding it. Who's my favorite basketball player? Dude, I don't even watch basketball, to be honest. Colonel Corn. I'm a huge Jackson fan. I got a USA Dinky. Badass. Yeah, me too. I also have that guitar. My guitar is actually in the shop right now. Ironically, I just got off the phone with my luthier literally like an hour ago because I just got my Jackson refinished and I'm scalloping the fretboard on that, which we kind of ran into a dilemma with because all the shark fins came off. So now the guitar is just black on the fretboard, which I actually think looks better, to be honest. I don't know. I've always been kind of like iffy on the shark fins. It was kind of cool that they were abalone, but I think it actually, this build is going to look more classy without the shark fins. I've come to that conclusion after actually looking at the guitar. But yeah, so it's scalloped fretboard, ebony fretboard. Still has the abalone headstock inlays though, which is cool. And then it's refinished in burgundy pink, like a metallic burgundy pink. And then it's going to get nitro over that. And then they're going to relic part of the finish. So it's going to look like incredibly sick. I got all new pickups in that guitar. And on top of this, I actually, not this guitar, but I'm using this as a reference. On the Jackson, it literally had them fill in all the wood where the knobs used to be. They just filled it in with wood because we're going to redo all the knobs on it too. So I'm taking out the tone knob. I'm moving the volume knob further away because, you know, everyone has the problem of hitting it accidentally. And then I'm just doing one three-way switch. That's it. So it's going to be like the Eddie Van Halen thing. One knob, three-way switch. All new DiMarzio pickups in it. Scallop fretboard. Metallic burgundy finish in the nitro with the relic. It's basically a new guitar, to be honest. Still got the same hardware, though. Floyd Rose, you know, all that stuff. But, yeah, it's going good, actually. I got all the pictures today, and I'm like, all right, I'm very happy about the way this guitar is looking. So I will do a video on it once I get it back. It's been, like, in the shop for, like, 3 months almost at this point. Colonel Corn. What does it say? Ever try a custom 5 pickup by Seymour Duncan? No, I have not. I do like their pickups, though. I actually have no guitars with any Seymour Duncans in them, ironically. I guess you could say I primarily have DiMarzio pickups, actually, in all my guitars now. But I really do like whatever pickups are in the Charvel DK24. Those pickups are amazing. I'd love to have a pair. Divine Wiccan. LTD or Ibanez for Chugs? LTD. Not even a question. And you know what? Honestly, like, the brand doesn't even matter. Like, in terms of, like, what you're asking. but I just prefer ESP in general over Ibanez. I have owned Ibanez guitars. I had a Prestige made in Japan at one point. It was a super sick guitar. It just wasn't for me. I just don't like the really thin necks on them. See, I like these kind of like C necks, you know, just classic. I like classics. What can I say? I really don't like overdone stuff. Like, I don't know. It'd be pretty hard pressed for me to go buy like a really weird like new age guitar, like I don't know, Strandberg. Like I actually, so I'm not even gonna say anything bad about them though, because I actually do like their guitars, but I just don't like the way they look. I really like classic guitars and the way they look, so that's why I got mostly Strat style guitar. I don't really like anything other than the Strat body style, and I don't even like pointy headstocks that much. I kind of like the Fender really did get it right with this, you know, curved out headstock, don't you think? I don't know. I still have pointy guitars with the pointy headstocks, don't get me wrong. I just think the Fender one got it right the first time. LTD, oh, okay, we answered that question. But yeah, I like ESP. Troy Smith, good to see you. Man, I see you everywhere. You're always on all my videos, man. I appreciate it. I try to read all, well, I can't really read all the comments because there's too many, but I do try to read as many as I can, and I always see you there. So appreciate you being here. You've been subbed for a long time. Same with Scott Petrie, if that's how you say it. I've seen you on a ton of my videos as well, so thank you for being here. Troy Smith says, very timely manner to stream. Well, yeah, I was supposed to stream actually like an hour and a half earlier, but I don't know if you were here for, but I was telling everyone I was on a 10,000 foot mountain earlier today on a hike. And then by the time I got done with the hike, it was like already the time that I thought I wanted to stream. And I was like, well, I'm just have to do it later. Scott, hey, how's it going, dude? Colonel Corn, have you ever listened to, how do I say this? Obviously I haven't. Dude, what? Bro. Sadi Recon? I feel like I'm totally not saying this right. Or Immortal. Neither one, to be honest. Divine Wiccan. I am, what does it say? I'm a beginner on electric guitar, and there's so many brands that's overwhelming. I heard about Jackson too, but my main playing style is metal. I mean, if your main playing style is metal, get a Jackson, bro. Actually, don't do that, to be honest, unless you get a custom shop or a USA one, because their import stuff is not good, if I'm being completely honest. I just had a student actually get and this is kind of funny. He mistakenly got an import Jackson. I think he actually meant to buy like a USA one, and then I'm not really sure what happened, but he showed up with this import Jackson, and it's still like a good guitar. I mean, he paid a lot for it. It's still a good guitar, but there's like so many things that go wrong, it seems like, in the import side of their company with quality control. Like he had a lot of blemishes on some of the fretboard, and the finishing was kind of really weird. It was like neck through, and the finish was like super weird with how they blended it into the neck. It didn't really look great. I mean, it still plays good, but I don't know. It's just kind of I would recommend getting USA stuff from Jackson all day long. Let's see here. Beginner electric guitar, definitely Schecter, to be honest. If you need a budget-friendly guitar that does like everything, Schecter. Nick Johnson signature model. That's like just such a sick guitar, dude. I would get one, except I like all the guitars I have right now. I don't plan on buying another guitar right now. And if I did, I'd probably just get another Strat and deck it out the way I want it to be. But if you don't have that option, you need a budget thing, get a Nick Johnson thing. It's from Schecter. Schecter's good brand for budget stuff. Same with Yamaha, actually. Underrated. Scott Petrie, I just bought a DGT PRS after buying Strats my whole life. Really digging the pickups. That's cool. I've never been super into PRS in general. They just kind of look like lawyer guitars to me, which is why They have not had the appeal, but I never heard really anything bad about their guitars, to be honest. They seem like they make very quality stuff all the way from their entry level to obviously the custom shops. So I think they're great guitars. They're just not really my aesthetic. But that's good, man. That's good you're enjoying that guitar. Troy Smith, I like to engage in musical discussion. Yes, well, likewise. That's why I do this. UFO Not. I like that name. Surge, I was you 30 years ago. What does that mean? Is that a compliment? It probably maybe is. I don't know. That's cool though. What were you like 30 years ago? Colonel Corn. Try listening to a song called King. Dude, you gotta. Can you do this though? Make the hyphen for how I pronounce this band name, because I don't know how to pronounce it. You do like the hyphen thing where it's like, when you look in the dictionary. Troy Smith, the Nick Johnson models are really good. Yeah, they're sick and they come in awesome colors. That's really why I like them. I'm all about the colors. I'm not a huge wood finish guy. If I was going to buy a wood finish guitar, though, I would definitely get the Jason Becker Kiesel signature model. I would definitely buy that guitar with the numbers on it. That guitar is so sick. Colonel Corn, Kirk Hammett sucks. Yeah, I said. Okay. I mean, you're not really saying anything that I haven't said on my own channel, so I guess, hey, look, something I want to address with that, because I've kind of become known as the Kirk Hammett guy. I love Metallica, okay? Metallica is such a sick band, okay? I've over-listened to them, like, in my life. There's been a very long period of time where they were my favorite band ever, okay? So I think it should be known that they've musically written some incredible music. I actually think James Hetfield is a fantastic guitar player, and I think Kirk Hammett has really good rhythm guitar playing. I just think there's some things he could do better on his lead stuff that I've obviously discussed on my channel before. But, I think we still all love Metallica and Kirk Hammett. It's really just in kind of good fun that I say the things that I say to try to educate people just on guitar stuff in general. I'm not really trying to just bash. There's always a good thought behind the things that I say, but I don't know. It obviously makes people very upset that I say these things, and those people, obviously they're not in the stream right now. It's all you guys actually agree with what I have to say probably if you're in the live stream, on the 4,000 sub stream. But I just want to make that clear that I love Metallica. I actually like a lot of stuff Kirk Hammett has done. I like Fade to Black. I like all the stuff actually on Injustice for All. Blackened is probably my favorite Metallica song. And I don't think James or Kirk wrote that. I think that's Jason Newsted that wrote that guitar riff, at least. But anyways, there's my 2 cents on that whole thing, just because you said that. But you know what? Thanks for watching the channel, though. That's cool. I didn't realize I've started a thing with that. Bought it for. Let's see here. What did you? Oh, this is Scott. Wait, what was the last thing you said? Oh, the PRS thing. Let's see here. Bought it for studio work. I'll gig my Strats. Are you saying like you'll play gigs with your Strats? Troy Smith, Colonel Corn. I don't particularly like him anyways, but he's definitely not doing justice to guitarists these days. Yeah, I mean, okay, let me just say one last thing about the Kirk Hammett thing. The guy that sent me the email with that whole video that became like a huge thing, that I did with the Satriani thing. That was a real email that I got. And, I said in the video that the guy could have been making it up. Like, I don't know. For me, it was just one of those things where the dude sent me the email and I put like 2 and 2 together with what I'd already been thinking for like years. And then I was just like, man, that actually makes a lot of sense if that is true. And then I decided to make a video about it. So, who knows if that guy was telling me the truth about the Satriani thing or not, but for me, that was my own inference on that. And I did state that in that video. But like I said, I think I think still, even with all that, Kirk Hammett has still done some good stuff. So he is worth like $200 million. I'm not, so fair enough. um, Colonel Corn writes, okay, here's the band name, Satiricon. Okay, Satiricon. Now that makes a lot more sense. What are we shredding today? Says Tommy Bon Tommy. I think that's how you say your name. We are shredding the Squire. This is like a totally hot rodded Squire, though. These are custom wound pickups from Sonoran Pickups here, actually in Arizona. And new fender bridge, new vintage tuners, Fender vintage tuners on it. Scallop fretboard on the top end. I actually am going to get the rest of the fretboard scallop, though. And new pick guard, all black, new electronics, new wiring harnesses, new switch, new knobs. Everything on this is not original, pretty much, except for literally the body and the neck. Everything has been changed out. So this is super, super hot rodded Strat. Sounds great. Plays great, honestly. I do my own setups pretty much on all my guitars now. And look how much I floated that bridge, though. Isn't that crazy? This is like more than a Jeff Beck. For those of you, actually, I don't know if this is a question for people, but I don't know. Do a lot of people do the Jeff Beck thing with their Fenders? I do the Jeff Beck thing. I like that a lot. You can get a crazy up on this. You can go up super high. Oh, wait. Let me turn this up. You can go really high with that bend. It has a lot of flutter. So it's pretty cool. It took, Fenders are finicky. They take a little messing with them to get it right, but once you get it right, they stay in tune. This thing stays in tune. I can do like Van Halen dive bombs in this in tune. UFO Knot did a long while in LA on the Strip as a GP in the 90s. GP. What is a GP? Guitar player. Oh, I'm stupid. I've never heard anyone call it a GP. Is that what we all are? We're GPs? I'm going to use that now. I'm a GP. You know what? That should be a t-shirt. I'm a GP. People are like, dude, what is that? That's cool, man. Yeah, I've definitely spent plenty of time on the LA Strip. Lots of good memories from the Sunset Strip for sure. I mean, I didn't play it like all the time, but I've definitely hung out there many times. I've played it a couple times, venues on the Strip, and it's a very legendary place. So I used to drive through it a lot for sure when I lived in LA. Beautiful part of LA, one of the most beautiful areas of the whole city, honestly, where that Strip's at. So fond memories for sure. I actually am supposed to be potentially, I'm not sure, well, I'm probably going to do it, but I haven't made up my mind yet when I want to go. But I am supposed to be doing a very cool documentary with some pretty heavy hitter engineers and producers in LA here in the next couple of months. We're going to go to some of the major studios in the city and kind of discuss like how at least, well, I have the first interview for sure locked in, the second one I'm working on. So if it's not two of them, it'll at least be the one, and the dude is like still a heavy hitter engineer / producer, and I've known him for years. He actually taught me a lot of what I know now on the engineering side of things, and he has been in the game for probably like 30 years at this point. So that's kind of going to be the whole documentary, is like how he's stayed relevant, especially in the hardest music city, which is LA. And yeah, so that'll be really cool. I just got to get my mind made up on when I want to make that happen, and I shall. Joshua says, well, here's a bunch of laughing emojis. All the Metallica albums. Are you asking me like what my favorite ones are, or what are you trying to say? Colonel Corn, I can hum the whole Master Puppets album, solos included. Yeah, I mean, There was probably a time I could do that too. I listened to that album so much. Um, yeah, man, I like overplayed that album, Master of Puppets for sure. Uh, Colonel Corn, Yngwie. The Yngwie shits on all your favorite guitarists was the best video title ever. I freaking loved it. Thanks. When I came up with that title, I was definitely like, should I even put this on there? But then I was like, nah, I should. It's just so funny. Scott Petrie says, Yngwie gets a bad rap. I love Malmstein, especially the early years. Such a passionate shredder. Yeah, he gets a bad rap because he frankly just had a bad attitude for a long time. He's kind of one of those situations where he is, the best guitarist and he knows it, kind of thing. And there was a lot of years that I think he was kind of an arrogant guy. It seems like, though, he's kind of changed his tune in recent time. But I think that's part of the reason why he gets a bad rap in terms of his personality. But part of me feels like he's a better player now than he even was when he started, That's just my 2 cents. I mean, I like a lot of his music. I even like I was just listening the other day to the Perpetual Flame album. That album's really good. If you haven't listened to that, tons of good tracks on there. Troy Smith, one of my favorite guitarists right now is Antoine Boyer. Might stay at the top of my list forever, actually. I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is. I need to look that up. I hate when people like say a guitarist and I don't know who they are because it makes me feel like I should know who they are. People are like, dude, that's my favorite guitarist. And I'm like, man, how do I not know who that is? So I need to check that guy out. Antoine Boyer. I'm going to check that guy out. Thank you for sharing that. What, is he in a band? Because maybe I know his band. Or is he just solo guitar? Divine Wiccan. Notes, thanks. Also, I bought a $60 Vox headphone amp. And my dumb ass got the input-output mixed up. Needless to say, I had it for less than 4 hours. Honestly, that's a pretty common user error. Like, even seasoned people like myself do that all the time, to be honest. Like, I've done it on gigs where I've plugged in, like, the Tonex that's sitting in front of me here. And I've plugged in, like, the wrong input, just not paying attention. Man, I've done stuff dumber than that on like, major gigs, actually. Like, I've just done stuff where I forgot to hit, like, the on button. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens to the best of us. I've had stuff where I'm trying to think, like, some of the dumbest stuff. Like, usually they have, like, something where you don't turn on a power button, or if it's on, like, a console and you got, like, a solo button accidentally pushed and you're just not paying attention. Like, it happens to literally the best of everybody, I feel like. So it's not really a big deal that happened. It happens, Jack Pearson plays Squires and he's a GOAT player. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people that play Squires. I think one of the Allman brothers plays Squires, like, primarily as well. So Squires are cool. You just gotta mess with them and they'll do what you want them to do, Colonel Corn, I'm thinking about switching from 9-gauge strings to a hybrid set like Yngwie uses. Your thoughts? I play actually lower gauge than Yngwie, I think. I play 8 through 38 on every guitar. So this guitar is 8 through 38. They're like paper thin strings and the floating tremolo. So you got to keep in mind, when you float the trem, if you got a floating trem, that also affects your string tension. So if you hardtail your guitar, you're going to actually have more string tension than if you float it. Because once you float it, everything's free game at that point. It's like light as a feather. The Yngwie Strat that I have sitting over here has also 8 through 38. And that one's tuned to E flat and has a floating bridge as well. So it's like ultimate butter playing. You know what I mean? The only lighter gauge strings you can get than that are the 7s from Billy Gibbons. But I've tried those and it's just a little even that for me is a little bit too much from when I tried them. Actually, I think the biggest problem I had with the 7s was actually just getting them to have enough tension on the bridge. So I feel like 8, in my opinion, and what I've experienced, is the lightest that I could go without like having issues, I guess, with the guitar itself. But yeah, I definitely prefer lighter the strings, the better. I don't believe in the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing where he plays like 13s and people try that for tone. Like just make your life easier. Play 8s. Unless you have to drop tune like crazy, then obviously, get something thicker. But if you're playing in standard or E flat, my recommendation is definitely play with 8s. Your life will be much easier for all genres of music. And if you scallop the fretboard on top of that, it's even easier than that. And a lot of people think it's a gimmick, the scallops, but it's really not, because once you scallop the fretboard, all you got to do is literally just touch it and it makes sound. Where before you got to kind of like accurately press on the frets, right? You got to be a little bit more aggressive. Once you do the scallops, it's over. All you got to do is touch the note and it comes out. You do have to play with a light touch, but it'll make you play with a light touch. It'll actually fix your technique, if in my opinion. It makes a lot of things on the guitar make more sense. It makes a lot of things better, in my opinion. It also fixes your technique if you're not used to that. For me, when I started playing scallops, I already played with a super light touch, so it was kind of like nothing really changed other than it just felt even easier than before. But if you don't play with a light touch, the scallops could actually fix that for you if you choose to do it. That's just my opinion, but at this point, all my guitars are scalloped. This one, I'm going to finish the scallops. It's half scalloped right now. You probably can't even see that. Maybe you can see it in the light. It's only scalloped on the bottom, but I think I'm going to go get the rest of it finished because now everything feels weird that I'm used to like only playing on scallops. Let's see here. I'm a GP too. Yeah, that's funny. I like the GP thing. That's hilarious. Let's see. He is Choice Smith. There's this about Antoine Boyer, maybe. He's a jazz manouche flat picker and an elite classical guitarist who does improvised counterpoint here and there. His harmonic language blows my mind. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I will check him out then. Though speaking of jazz players, for those of you that don't know, check out Borelli Legren, French guy, gypsy jazz, Django Reinhardt type of guy, but like even more insane. Dude's crazy. If you like jazz stuff, especially gypsy jazz like that, you need to check him out. Let's see here. I just lost my place on the comments. Oh, here we go. UFO Knots. Love the show. So real and honest about the trap. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I can do, honestly, at this point in my life is just be honest because, I'm not like, how do I explain that? Wow, thanks. Hey, I really appreciate that. That means a lot, UFO Not. Yeah, the music industry is just something that I've experienced. I'll be honest with you guys. You know what? There was a time where I actually wanted to quit music. The music industry had me that jaded that I wanted to quit music. And I actually like sold all my gear at one point. Like I was adamant about quitting. I was like, I have to get out of the music industry. I'm done. I don't ever want to do music again, right? And obviously since that time, I've recovered. I have a much different perspective now. That was probably like my lowest point ever in the music industry, getting to that level of kind of letting it defeat me. But over time, I persevered out of that, and there was a lot of things that helped me, love music again. And now I think it's just a different relationship. Like I love music, you know what I mean? It's about that for me. It's not about the gimmicks and people that seek fame and all this stuff, right? It's like, and obviously it's like, I guess you could say like being on YouTube, like you get like a somewhat amount of fame from that in a sense, right? Like sometimes I'll actually go to a guitar store now and people will be like, hey, aren't you that guy? And like, that's happening. Like, that's cool, but it's not something like I guess to put it in perspective, like there's a part of the music industry where like people literally are seeking fame. Like it's toxic. It's like almost a disease, to be honest. Like they want to be famous, and those are the people that make this business not a good place. And those are also the people that get taken advantage of a lot. Those are the people you see getting elevated to, a lot of places, higher places, stuff like that. And that was kind of the stuff that had me burned out, at the time when that happened. And now that I'm in a much more positive space with music and a much longer term trajectory also, is kind of why I decided to just start sharing this information with people on YouTube, because I'm like, there's got to be somebody out here that's going to benefit from knowing this stuff, from, I guess, like an insider, you could say, in that sense. And, so I pretty much just decided to double down on that and said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to tell the truth from the experiences that I've had. And, I'm sure some people will really appreciate it and other people are not going to like it. Like I've literally had people like message me like, I work in the music industry and you shouldn't be talking about this stuff. And it's like, what is this, Fight Club? Why is this the only business where you can't be transparent about what actually happens? It's like, yes, people are paying to do everything. Like people are paying to get on Billboard. People are paying to get on tours. People are paying money for you to buy into their facade. Like a lot of it is fake. That doesn't mean that even the music though isn't good. Like some of it's fake and the music's still good, but it's just one of those things. Is like, I think the thing that gets people jaded is running into that and then not being able to accept it. Like I was at that point for a long time where I couldn't really accept how toxic it really was. But now that I've in my life just reached that point of acceptance and also kind of just found my own balance with where I'm at with the business side of it as well. It actually, led me to kind of recovering from that mindset and having a much more positive outlook and being able to love music again, Hopefully that makes sense. I know that was a super long-winded answer to that comment, but I figured I'd share that with you guys because, that's... I don't know. That's just the right thing to do, I feel like. You know what I mean? So yeah, UFO Not. Really appreciate the tip, man. And, it means a lot that you watch the channel. It means a lot to everyone that, says they get stuff. I've had people message me. They're like, man, the information's changed my life. And I'm like, I really did not expect that. So, it means a lot to me to know that it touches people in that way. Okay, so let's see here. Yngwie likes to bend up 3 half steps. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, he actually floats his bridge to do a minor third. This one goes further than that, though. This is like freaking a 4th, probably. Let's see. Okay, no, this is a minor third. Maybe it's just because of the way I'm sitting, though. Okay, yeah, it is. It's the same as Yngwie right now on this setup. Scott Petrie. I like the 9.5 gauge strings. Used to play 11s. Yeah, I mean, you could also do it that way. You could kind of level into it because there is a lot of people that like, I realize also in telling you this stuff, right, about the guitar thing, it's like, you might be playing with 11s right now, and I tell you to get 8s, and you try, and you're like, dude, this is not right. And honestly, that's understandable. Like, if it's something you got to ease yourself into, then do it that way. Like, if you went to 11s, 9.5, that probably feels like a drastic change. So sit with that for a second, then see if you want to go lighter from there. Jazz guitars swear by thicker strings, but it makes sense. Yeah, they don't do bends. Yeah, exactly. And you know what, you're right about that. A lot of them do play with 10s and stuff like that. They get less twang out of the strings that way, so it doesn't sound as bluesy, in that sense. It's more just jazz, as you stated. But yeah, they don't do a lot of bends. You're right about that. They do a lot of slides and stuff like that. Make standard tuning great again. You know what, that's actually kind of That's kind of a good point, huh? Everybody's just gotten into drop tuning everything. I'm with you on that school of thought a little bit. Now, there's nothing wrong with drop tunes. They have a place for sure. But there was a moment there, man, like maybe around like 2013 to 14 to 15 ish, maybe like 2013 to 2017. It felt like every single band was like drop tuning like five whole steps down, and like there was no music coming out anymore that was in standard. So you're kind of right about that. I play a lot in standard and E flat. Those are kind of my main tunings that I play other people's music and my own in. um, and I guess, yeah, I just haven't been into a lot of drop tune music on the playing side of things recently. So I guess that's the reason. Scott Petrie, I'm an OG old old guitarist. That's funny. I like these acronyms here. Let's see. UFO Not says I worked for a lot of great bands in North Hollywood. Yeah, you're definitely an LA native if you're calling it NoHo. I used to live in NoHo as well, so that's cool. Troy Smith. He's just agreeing with the C sharp standard. Yeah, there's bands that I played in where I played in C sharp. Usually drop C sharp, but yeah. Ian Scott. Oh, Ian Scoto rocks. Solid channel, bro. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. UFO Not says you are very seasoned attitude at a very young age. Well, thank you. I mean, I think part of that is just I've been doing this since I was like a kid, so I don't know. You just grow up faster when you're in the music biz from a younger age, maybe. UFO Not also says Neural DSP killed amps for me. Yeah, me too. To be honest, once they put out those plugins, I was like, man, this is hard to like justify a tube amp. Although to be honest with you, I might be going back on a tube amp binge again right now. Because part of me is like, man, I kind of want to get a real amp again. And, I have real amps, don't get me wrong. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, use real amps on recordings and stuff all the time more often. Scott Petrie. Music is therapeutic. I once quit for 3 years and my mental health went to the shitter. Yeah, that for sure, man. Yeah, you gotta keep playing. UFO Not. Oh, you guys are responding to the story earlier. Okay. Too much ass to kiss to make it big. Luck box. A lot of rock stars, kids jump ahead. Nepotism is king in LA. Definitely, for sure. Evan Hall. Oh, this is my homie actually in the stream. Can you play the Lil Wayne guitar solo? Yes, I can. I bet you I can just remember how it is. I think I've seen that video so many times. It's probably something like, I'm like purposely trying to make it sound bad. Isn't that what he's playing in that video? I don't know. He's like playing it like shit. I'm trying to replicate that. Anyways, make it better. Get a little more gain out of that. I don't know. That's how you could have made the solo better. I don't know. I'd rather play for 20 people and get paid than play in front of 20,000. I mean, my only caveat to that is you probably get paid more to play in front of 20,000. I'd probably take the paycheck for the 20,000 if I'm being honest. Phil Frank. Your videos focus on contrary and opposing views, but somehow holds my attention. Well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, many people have told me I am very much a contrarian, I guess. That is maybe somewhat my personality, I guess, to some extent, but, I try to bring you the truth, so I appreciate that. The concept of a rock star has drifted. Yeah, definitely agree with that. I waited tables for a long time with Troy Van Leeuwen. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. FYI, Yngwie is kind of Colonel Corn. FYI, Yngwie said his action is 2 to 3 millimeters at the 12th fret. That's high. Totally debunks the low action equals fast playing. Yeah, Yngwie plays with like a super high action. I actually play with a medium action, so I don't play with a low action either. I don't really believe in it anymore. There was a time where I thought that was the way, and then the more I just got into like actually playing more Fender strats and not super strats, kind of changed my mind on the low action theory. So now I prefer not a high action, but definitely a medium one. Better tone, better bends, better vibrato, everything, in my opinion. So yeah, Yngwie definitely has thought a lot about his moves for sure. Let's see. Okay, Troy Van Leeuwen is a rock star. He says he is a rock star god type dude. Shows my age. I mean, the name sounds familiar. I should know who that is. Sergio M. Love your channel, dude. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I guess I'll make a couple announcements. Every time I do one of these streams, I'm like about to lose my voice, I swear. It's like it's starting to go now. Oh, Queens of the Stone. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I know Queens of the Stone Age. Okay, a couple things I'm gonna mention. I'm starting a community for everyone that wants to ask me direct music industry advice, wants me to review their band, they're playing. Um, you know, pretty much like what we're doing here, just way more often. So I'm probably gonna end up doing like one of these once a week when I start this community, and then I'll have like a little message board where you can just write me messages and I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't answer them, obviously I'll try to answer them actually on the stream like we're doing here. So I'm going to do that, review your band, review your playing, if that's something. Because I've had a lot of people also like hit me for, lessons, and I only have so many slots. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the community thing as well. For everybody on that. So you can still get some advice from me if you can't get the one-on-one lesson stuff. So, although I will also say, I do have like just a couple slots open for one-on-one instruction right now. So if that is something you want to do, email me and state your case. I'm only really going to take like a few more students right now. It's filled up pretty quick, but at the same time, every time it's filled up, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to open another day to try to accommodate. But I think now I finally am kind of at like the end of that, where it's like, okay, I literally can only accept like a certain amount of students further before I'm like, I have to stop. unless someone drops off, and then I'll open a slot. But yeah, it's getting pretty much full right now. So, but I will take on a few more students. So if that's something that you want to do, like I said, just email me. And also, I've had a lot of people ask me to do one-off lessons. Like, oh, can I just get one lesson? I don't really do that, and it's just because I don't have the time. Like I already have such a full schedule with everyone else. So really, email me if you are looking to do, you want to study with me on the long term. That's more of the students that I take on. So if that's something you want to do, email me. Emails in all the videos. Let's see here. Good for you. This should make you money finally. Your personality is perfect for it. Oh, are you talking about the videos? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. I will answer a few more questions. I think I got to everyone's questions on here, which is good. I think every other time I've done one of these, I always miss something. So, ask me a couple more questions if you have them before I end the stream, and then that'll be that. But yeah, stay tuned for when I start this community. Hopefully, I'm going to have this in the next month or so ready for everybody. And then should be good. And we'll just keep on trekking with the videos. Oh, favorite 3 players: Yngwie, Eddie. Number 3 is always a tough choice. There's a lot I could put in number 3. Probably Jason Becker. To be honest. I heard Joe Satriani composed most Metallica solos on the first 4 albums. Anyone else heard this ugly rumor? That I don't know about him composing it. My thought was he helped Kirk Hammett on some of the solos. I don't even know. I don't know if I could say he even wrote the solos for him. Like, I kind of did allude to that a little bit in my other video that I might have, like, I thought he might have done it, but even like now, like on some second thought, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I could say he wrote it, but definitely influenced. I don't know about wrote the solos, because I feel like he would have wanted some credit for that and probably would have ended up suing the band if he wasn't listed. Or, I mean, there's so many angles to that, though, because it's like, it also could be one of those things like, hey, maybe he did do that, and then they just paid him a lump sum of money to, hush. But I don't think that would have happened, honestly, because even if that scenario happened where they paid him a bunch of money for the songs, like, they would have ended up making so much money over on that later that he would have still ended up suing them probably for the money back. So I don't know about composed. Definitely influenced for sure. Composed, I don't know. Page, you talking about Jimmy Page? Yeah, Jimmy Page is awesome. Long Island breeds guitarist for sure. Jimmy Page is not from Long Island though. How much is rent in your neck of the woods? I mean, I don't know if I want to answer that, to be honest. If I'm being real, like, I'd rather just keep that one to myself. It's a little bit private. Let's see. Italian ones, allegedly. Okay, yeah. Okay, you're responding to this stuff. Above that. Yeah. Well, okay, everybody. If you have like a couple, oh, you live in Rhode Island. Yeah, Rhode Island. That's okay, cool. East Coast, yeah, for sure. Okay, everybody. I think if you drop me like one more, I'll answer, but if not, I'm gonna wrap the stream here. Again, you know what to do. If you want one-on-one instruction with me, shoot me an email. I'll have the community that I was referencing earlier where you can ask me all this stuff, do a live stream once a week kind of thing. I'll have that up and running here in the near future. I don't have a for sure date on that yet, but it is coming. I've had a lot of people ask about that. And yeah, thank you everybody for 4,000 subscribers. It means a lot. And I will have many more videos coming your way. So thank you very much. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you.